God bless you, woman of God. I'm on here real quick. I just want to address the criticism that I've been getting about the videos and the hair. So come in real quick because I just want to address this for once and for all. I just felt like it was time to have a conversation about it. So God bless you, woman of God. Okay, so for starters, let's talk about why I decided to do the hair, do the artistry and things. So I'm going to say this. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to go into it. So when I was in Cincinnati, Ohio last year, I want to say probably about the end of 2024, I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio to help my family with ministry. When I got there, my mom's apostle said something to me in the regards of like hair. She was saying that she felt like God was going to show me to do something different with my hair. So, I said, okay. At the time, I had moved. I didn't have a place yet. So I was sleeping on my sister's floor, my little sister. And just in a matter of, 3 months or so, I was able to get on my feet and start, or whatever. So I was embraced as one of the house prophets at my mom's church. And just a disclaimer, I want to say that I'm glad I'm able to share this from a healed place. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm necessarily on here, just to like spread drama or anything. But I realize that a lot of people have been reaching out to me in the DMs and even in the comments on some of the videos that I've been posting, just kind of wondering like, why are you posting videos like this? Why are you deciding to do songs like this? And you're a prophet of God. So I just kind of want to give people an understanding of why I decided to go this direction. But anyway, so in a matter of three months or so, my life got on track. I got me a job at Metro. I started working. I was able to get me an apartment, everything. After she told me that God was going to show me to do something different with my hair, I ended up shaving my head, which most of y'all seen in some of the pictures that I was posting before. I shaved my head completely bald. I felt like God had led me to shave my head bald. So when I shaved it bald, it was, I don't know if it was maybe like a vanity thing or something like that, but I felt like it was a renewal. After maybe about 3 months, I was led to, like, after like a 90-day fast, we did what they called like a prophet's fast. So after I did my prophet's fast, about the 90-day mark, I felt God saying, you can grow your hair back. So again, this is in reference to my mom's apostle, who's no longer my mother's apostle anymore, by the way. But I'm not going to get into all of that. But so anyway, I felt like God was leading me to grow my hair back. So I started doing which a lot of people know that some of my hairline was receding anyway. So I use microfibers. So I'm a barber. So I cut hair as well. And a celebrity barber as well. I've cut celebrities' hair, their kids' hair or whatever. So I'm accustomed to filling my hairline in with microfibers. And she laid her hands on me in service and she put oil all over my head and it kind of like smeared my fibers in. So anyway, cut my hair, completely shaved it, and I felt a release from God, like, okay, you can grow your hair back. I came to church with my hair kind of sprayed back in, haircut or whatever. Next thing I know, that I want to say that next day, I got a phone call from my mom saying that her apostle at the time told me to sit down. There was no explanation as to why. Nobody told me. I kept asking my mom. I was like, did I do something wrong? Is everything okay? Nobody gave me any explanation. I kind of ended up sharing it with some of the people in ministry that I just respect or whatever. Reached out to them, talked to them, and was like, hey, is everything okay? Like, did I do something wrong? Apostle asked me to sit down. And the apostle that I'm talking about, her name is Apostle Reed. How you doing, woman of God, Nakila? Her name is Apostle Reed. So I tagged some people in this live. I tagged some people on my post that I shared. I tagged your brother in here, woman of God, Nakila. Just some different people that was giving me some feedback about my videos. I tagged them in my status to let them know that I was going to go live, just to address and bring everybody up to date as to where I am today and why I've made some of the decisions that I've made. So, but anyway, so at the time, her name is Paula Reed, Apostle Paula Reed, Dr. Paula Reed. So this is who my mom was under. As far as I know, I don't think my mom is under her anymore. By the way, there is no beef with her. I don't have any issues with her or anybody. I just feel like people should know why I've made some of the decisions and the choices that I've made. So anyway, she told me to sit down. So because she did not explain to me after I sprayed my fibers in and got my hair back, remember this was a 3-month profit fast. I ended up doing 3 months. So after I did this profits fast, after shaving off my head, I had posted it. Some of you can go back in my history. You can look at my photos. I may have deleted it. So maybe some stuff is not there. If I need to, I can repost it. So anyway, I got my fibers back out. I felt a release from God. You can grow your hair back. I went back. I came to church. My mom was supposed to preach that Sunday. Sometimes I would preach, and sometimes my mom would preach. Different ones of us would preach on Sunday. That was my mom's turn to preach on that Sunday. I got up. I kind of gave a little bit of a testimony. Next thing I know, that next day, my mom called me and told me that her apostle told me to sit down. So anyway, because I got no explanation, everybody got silent. All the leaders, nobody really said anything. So the only idea that I had from that was maybe it's because I grew my hair back, because she said God was going to tell me to do something with my hair. So I was like, well, maybe it's because, I grew my hair back and I started doing my fibers. So fast forward after that, after I was asked to sit down by her, the same day, I want to say, I found out that I got cut from working at Metro. So at this point, I'm like, doors were just closing in Cincinnati, like just completely closing. And at this time, when I came to my mom's church, as a preacher traveling, so I've done the itinerary preacher thing. Like I've actually done that since I have left Cincinnati in 2019. I kind of went into full-time ministry, and the Lord blessed me to where I was able to travel, and different places I was able to preach. And the Lord started to build up my name, different places. I would get references and, I would preach. So anyway, here come Larry Reed. I'm about to explain it all right now, Larry. But we good though. I feel like there's really no beef. I'm just addressing the criticism about my hair in my videos because people have seen me, dancing with my clothes off or whatever. And so I'm just kind of bringing everybody up to date because according to the church, I'm a prophet and this is not decent to them. This is not appropriate. So I just want to explain to everybody what led up to this point and why I've made some of these decisions to fully embrace myself, who I am, and to love myself versus allowing me being in church spaces to dictate how I view myself, how I live my life, because I really feel that it's toxic. Thank you, Larry. I really feel like church, the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in right now is because I feel that it has just gone too far and it has just gotten too toxic. And I think we have to be honest with ourselves and with other people as to what has led us to this point. because I think a lot of people have been turned off. Yes, sir. Prophets break the mold. I feel like a lot of people have been turned off by church, and I being one of them. I haven't really, outside of my family church and back home, there's some leaders that I've been accountable to, but I haven't really frequently attended church for some years now. And I want to say, I think it's healthy that it's almost 7 years that I haven't really been so frequent with going to church, because I think it helped me come out of this church brain mindset. And so me growing up in church, one of the people that I looked up to was Dr. Juanita Bynum. I always looked up to her, and church was always very dogmatic. Like, I grew up in church. Everybody was aggressive about what they thought you should do, what you shouldn't do. I mean, I grew up in a church where even my first lady, I would hear her calling people that I was friends with like fags. I would hear people saying, you a fag, you gay, so church was just one of those spaces where I've been sat down in church several times. It's just kind of like, I've always seen people really aggressive and dogmatic, and it was okay for the preacher to hurt your feelings and to tell you like it is and really not care about your soul or the state that you're in. It's just kind of like, you deal with it, you get over it. It's tough love. This is kind of the church background or the culture of church that I grew up in. And I think because I've stayed away from church for so long, I realized how toxic it is. So last year, once I lost my job and everything, once I was set down in church because I decided to grow my hair back, one of the things that my mom's apostle at the time was concerned about is gay. And she kept telling me that she had these two women that she ordained in church. This is her words, what she said. She ordained these two women in church under her name, and she signed off on them. And she said later on down the line, these people came out as gay. And she said she felt like it didn't look good. It brought a reproach on her ministry because they were gay. And, our faith don't stand for homosexuality and things like that, those type of practices. And so I always felt like she kind of marked me because I always had feminine tendencies. I was always just, I guess what you would consider a more soft man, just my mannerisms, the way I spoke, how I carried myself. I was just not your typical idea of the type of male that you would want to lead a church. And so I felt like because of that, I kind of felt like she was already kind of like, I don't want to say out for me, but I felt like she kind of targeted me a little bit because of the potential that I could one day come out as gay. And so even though she was nice, she was kind, all those things, it was just kind of one of those things that always loomed over my head. Even there was this other ministry when I moved to Atlanta in 2019, there was this other ministry I was connected to, and how I got to Houston, I moved from Atlanta to Houston because I was supposed to pastor a church. And then one of the members of the church where I was supposed to plant, who was going to be like under my ministry, one of the members, she felt like I was gay. And so there was always these rumors spread around, about my sexuality. And I just realized that it was following me. And so this is probably the most recent situation. And so basically, when I grew my hair back and after I lost my job and all those things happened, I left and I came back to Houston to rebuild because I already felt like me doing itinerary ministry and me traveling around doing different things. Number one, I'm not the type of person, I don't like to throw people under the bus. So that's not going to be my approach. But I will say some of my ministry colleagues who are doing very well in ministry, I mean, I know they would go to clubs, bars, they would go to bathhouses, doing all these kind of things behind the scenes. Rumors about this one sleeping with that one, this one doing that. And I'm like, and people would spread the rumors around. So I knew people knew, getting photos of sending dick pictures, you know, just whatever, just doing all kind of sexual things, ass, titties, you know, all that kind of stuff, sharing these type of photos around. And these are people that get in your pulpit, that preach, doing drugs, you know, drinking, you know, all the things. So as I traveled around and got to do ministry and see different things, I started realizing that even some of your artists and gospel music, I started realizing, like, the culture, even in gospel, you hear people talking about it in the media. Like, a lot of people have partners. A lot of people have gay partners, stuff like that. And I'm definitely not going to say any names because I respect people. And those people haven't done anything to me. And this is my experience. So I don't necessarily need to call names to say. But I believe that God allowed me to go into these spaces to see these things so that I can make a decision for myself. And the conclusion that I came to, even some of the churches where I came from, some of the churches, like my background in Cincinnati, some of the churches that I came from, some of the people that were criticizing me about me not having on clothes in my videos and stuff like that, there's even rumors about different people sleeping around, you know, being married, you know, sleeping outside of their marriage, you know, stuff like that. I've been married before and divorced. But, you know, our divorce was, you know, not because of that, because even my ex-wife knew I had been with men before. So let me also say this. When it comes to my sexuality and me sleeping with men, that has never been a secret. There's never been no closet. What closet? I'm trying to figure out what closet have I been in, because everybody has always known. I remember even one time I was at one of the bigger churches in Cincinnati, Bethlehem Temple Church, and a well-known preacher came in the church and he said my name as King David, and he knew a lot of my past. He knew a lot of the different sexual experiences that I had as a child and things like that. And he prophesied over my life and said that, you know, God was going to bless me and that I was King David, and, you know, God was going to, you know, pretty much promote me above the odds that were stacked up against me and my circumstances. So I just want y'all to know that after a while, you just kind of get tired of people labeling you. You get tired of, I started realizing that certain ministry connections, that they would connect with me behind the scenes, but they never wanted to be public about it. I mean, I've served leaders that have partners. They literally have partners that they live with and have built lives with. But for whatever reason, I always felt like people were nervous with me about, you know, don't let Prophet David do this or don't let him do that, because they just felt cringe about how I carried myself or spoke. So even when I was a kid, some of the videos I've been posting, y'all, if any of you have been listening, I posted videos about growing up watching Tyler Perry and seeing him play in wigs and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I played in wigs. I played in my mom's heels. And my mom let me be a kid at home. So when I would go to church, it would switch, and then it would become, you're walking too gay. You're acting too gay. Fix your voice. Fix that. Get some more bass in your voice. When I tell y'all I was bullied in church so bad as a kid, I was like, church was the worst place for me growing up. I was called David in church. There was literally a guy who would punch me in my back. Whenever there was nobody around, all the adults, everybody was inside the church, he would take his fist like this. He would take his fist, and I probably was like 6 or 7 years old. Everybody will be inside the church. My mom will be inside the church. I'm just out there by myself. I would be terrified to go to church. He would take his fist like this, ball it up, and use the knuckle, and he would punch me in my backbone. He would punch me in my backbone and call me David. And I mean, I've had a whole entire street upset with me. I was bullied at school. I was bullied in church. I mean, bullying was just so bad that I didn't even realize that I had severe my hands would sweat. Like even right now, my hands are a little bit wet. My hands are clammy right now. If you knew me, anytime you would hold my hands in church, they would sweat so bad. So a lot of my trauma when I was younger, a lot of my anxiety in church, like I would walk into church and just completely become anxious and my hands would sweat when I would touch people's hands. My hands would literally drip with sweat. You could see it because I was just so traumatized in church. It impacted my identity in such a huge way, even with singing. I was always a singer. I wish I had some of my videos of me as a little kid. Those who knew me when I was a little kid, when I was DJ back in the day, I had this super high voice. I mean, they would have me sing Whitney Houston songs. I was 6 years old singing in the adult choir with the Sopranos. I was a soprano singer as a little boy at 6 years old, singing Whitney Houston songs and stuff like that. Obviously, outside of the church, people would ask me to come and sing or whatever. My family, my extended family, whenever we would go to family reunions and 4th of July and stuff, they would always say, "Come here, DJ," and they would have me sing His Eyes Is on the Sparrow. They would have me sing all these songs. I had this very high-pitched voice, and they would just cry. And in church, my pastor would always, people would ask for me. Different churches would come to him. They would ask, "Can we use him? Can he sing with us?" And he would always say no. He would say, "You don't need to sing with them. They can come to our church and hear you sing." So this is where a lot of the control started. This is where a lot of the manipulation started. Not only was I going through sexual experiences as a little boy, not only was I being bullied in church, gossiped about, talked about, not only that, even when I sang, there was warfare around me singing. People would feel some type of way about me singing. He's always singing. He's always got the lead. They would feel some type of way. And they did not want me singing outside of church. So not only do I feel unsafe in church, I don't feel protected in church, even on fast. I remember one time I had a situation that happened to me when I was a little boy on a church fast. Me and, when it's a family church, me, pastor, son, get into it. I get choked up in the bathroom. Some stuff happened. Then all of a sudden I'm running. I'm looking for my mom. I'm like trying to tell my mom the situation. What's happening? Mama. My mom, waking up from sleep and the people saying, "That's all right. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep." So I think sometimes people wonder, like, why do I open my mouth? Why do I speak out about it? Why do I say something? It's because when I was a kid growing up, y'all, there was nobody advocating for me. Nobody spoke up for me. I want y'all to understand, I didn't have the type of mother or the type of parent. Don't get me wrong. My mom is a great mom. Wonderful. But when I say my mother took care of me, she made some sacrifices for me. So my mom would take her rent money to make sure that I was in show choir, so that I could get the training, so that I could perform on stage. A lot of what y'all seeing me do right now, I learned a lot of it from show choir. We were classically trained. This was my outlet as a kid, in high school, in middle school, being in choir, being trained how to sing, singing, writing songs, music. This was my only outlet, because when I went to church, all I knew is that something was wrong with me. And I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't know if I was ever going to be right. I would be in the prayer services. Everything you could possibly do. I learned scriptures. Whatever you told me to do. I was the usher. I was the ordained deacon. I was the youth pastor and president. I was the choir director. I got a band to sing. I eventually became a preacher. On every level, I was in junior church. Everything that I could possibly do in church to get it right, nothing ever worked. I remember even during, my mom was a Sunday school teacher, and then eventually she became a preacher, so eventually it got to where I would go to church by myself and pray. My mom had a key to the church, so I would get my mother's key, and I would jog to the church by myself as a kid, and I just wanted to pray. I would go into church, lock myself in the church, and just me and God in there by myself, I would pray, because I wanted to seek it out and to figure out, Lord, trying to pray the gay away, Lord, can you help me with this? Can you even got married? Even got married. So I think it's clear too that I've dated women too. That's no secret either. I've dated men, I've dated women. None of those things are secret. I've never tried to hide it, you know, but I say all of this to say, this was just the world that I was shaped in. This was the world that I was brought up in. And I realized that God allowed me for a season to leave church. I had to come out of church. And I want to say my last experience with church was just in 2024 when I finally, in 2025, when they sat me down in church because my mom's apostle, I believe she felt some type of way because I grew my hair back after she prophesied to me and said, when I came from Houston, my haircut, I had my haircut and everything together, just being me, just being David, my fibers and everything in. I come in to help my mom do ministry, and she looked at my hair. She poured oil in my head. She laid her hands and she said God was going to tell me to do something with my hair. I had friends upset with me because I shaved my head. They were so mad at me that I allowed somebody to influence me to cut my hair so that I can fit. Now, I also know that that's scripture. That we talk about Paul, how he shaved his head, or there's certain things that people in the Bible did to, you know, just to relate to the culture or to become all things to all men. So I do believe that a facet of, I do believe in a balance in that. I don't think there's anything wrong with you doing certain things to fit the culture. But to be honest with y'all, I'm just at the point now where it's just like, I'm just going to be me. Honestly, I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. Because every place that I went and everywhere that I went, the only solution to it all was that, so everybody around here is preaching this, but everybody got sin in their life. They just afraid to be themselves. So the only solution to all of this for me, since nobody was going to completely accept me, nobody was ever going to completely embrace me, because remember, I developed a voice, being bold, speaking out, becoming an advocate for myself, for justice for myself, because my mother never spoke up. She never said anything. Even if I was hurting, she was quiet, because there was a history of abuse in my biological family before we even found the church that I grew up in. And what I started realizing is that typically people that are attracted to churches that have this toxic environment and is very unhealthy, typically you'll find people that have just so much trauma in their family bloodline that they are more attracted to these type of cultures of church. This is where people gravitate towards because they feel like it's tough love. And what I found out, y'all, is that I don't want to be that kind of person. I would preach real hard. It was me too. I was doing it too. I'm not just saying them. I'm saying this culture had developed me. This is what trained me. I too started to be dogmatic. I too was starting to preach real hard on people and you don't need to do this and you don't need to do that. And you're a powerful preacher when you can throw off on people and when you can dog them out in front of everybody and tell them you don't need to look like that. And church people don't do this and do that. And you know, you can just embarrass people. You can just humiliate people. Then you're a real powerful preacher. And if that person doesn't have enough self-esteem, enough self-value to speak up and stand up and say, wait a minute, no, you cannot speak to me that way. This is not how you do it. You don't talk to me like that about God and tell me that today I'm going to get delivered and God's going to heal me and restore me and set me free while you're tearing me down. This is the culture that I was raised in. And I'm going to be the first person to say, I repent. I'm sorry that I did it. There are people who I have hurt because of how I treated them when I was preaching. My grandmother is one of them. One of my cousins is one of them. Man is one of them. These are things that I was doing that I was trained to do. This is the culture. But then God started dealing with me and showing me, while I've been out of church, out of this church culture, and I haven't gone to church as frequently, I want to say the last service that I went to a church here in Houston. And when I went in, the preacher was preaching so heavy on homosexuals and being gay and stuff. And we see your social media and we see your posts and we see who you are and da-da-da-da-da, woo to woo. And it was like the whole atmosphere, it just didn't feel like love. It just did not feel like love, y'all. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta stop, y'all. This is not love. This is not how God would minister to us. This is not, when we read the Bible about Jesus' life and his ministry, if we're true followers of Christ, this is not how he dealt with people. Even the prostitute, when she came, when he met her at the well, he had a conversation with her. He talked to her and said, I know that you sleeping with other men and those are not your husband, but he didn't call a whole group of people to come and stand around them and say, okay, now I want to have this conversation with you. Yes, that's right, Lana. Jesus did not embarrass people. We got to stop embarrassing people and manipulating people and humiliating people. And then what we do after we finish it, I've done it too, and I'm apologizing too. I'm in this group. I'm grouping myself with everybody. Then we raise huge offerings. We raise huge offerings after we done beat them down, dogged them out, dragged them through the mud. The church I grew up in, I got to where I didn't even want to go up to get prayer when they would have altar call, because I learned and found out that when you go up asking for prayer, they say, what do you need prayer for? And all while you telling them what your prayer request is, they go back home and they talk to everybody else about your business. The ministers, the leaders are gossiping about you, spreading your business around the church and laying their hands on you at the same time. No, y'all, no. So if I gotta be the first person, there's a lot of people out there talking about it. I'm not the only one. But if I have to be one of the people to say, if you think I'm gay, okay, fine. If you think I'm a homosexual, fine. If you think I'm bisexual, okay, fine. Whatever you think about me is fine. I don't care no more. I don't care what you think about me anymore. It really doesn't matter, because I realize that no matter what you do, nobody is going to always agree. Everybody is not going to embrace you. If I've gotten anything out of this experience, is that nobody is perfect. From the pulpit, from the head bishop, all the way down, everybody got skeletons in their closet. This is why Jesus said, he who is without sin cast the first stone. He said that for a reason, because y'all got sin in your life. All of you got sin in your life. It's just the right person. There's somebody out there who knows your sin. There is somebody, every last one of us in here, we got sin in our life somewhere. Whether you eating too much food, you're not taking care of your body, whether you gossip a little bit too much, whether you binge watching. And this is another thing that I found out. The songs that the church is getting breakthroughs on, they shouting, speaking in tongues, feeling the glory of God. These people are having orgies, sleeping around, getting their rocks off, and you didn't even know you feeling the glory off of somebody who's human. You're feeling the glory of God off of somebody who God gifted to write that song that you feel like is encouraging you and getting you closer to God. You don't even know that right after they wrote that song, they was in an orgy, or they in the same-sex relationship. Y'all. Like, for real, y'all. Because nobody is, the person in your choir is gay and he's in a homosexual relationship, and you already know that. But y'all sweeping it away and you acting like it's not okay. But watch this. We got people now that are coming into church and we can't fake anymore. You might as well just be real now. And so after last year in 2025, I realized, I said, you know what, David? Because it doesn't even matter if I was preaching, if I was a prophet, because I realized a lot of churches I didn't even go into, people knew I was a prophet, I was a preacher. Some people didn't want to hear from me just because they heard some kind of gossip about me. And guess what? You have some of these major preachers who done had scandal after scandal. And they hear about your flaws, but will close their doors to you because they heard about your business. They heard about your scandal, but you supposed to excuse theirs. And this Sunday, they want to invite you into their church and you come and sit under them so that they can get you delivered, but you supposed to ignore all of their scandal. Now, y'all, we got to be smarter. We got to use more discernment. We got to use more wisdom, and we got to make it make sense. We just got to be honest. So I don't want no more of the foolishness. I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm not doing the shenanigans anymore. If I'm not your prophet, then I'm not your prophet. I realize that no matter what industry you go into, in the music industry, in the religion industry, the church industry, whatever, no matter whatever kind of business you go into, we even got people talking about that, how church has become a business. You got people that'll gatekeep. They won't even, you'll come into their church and they'll spot you from a mile away and see that you got gifts, you got callings in you, and they will intentionally not allow you to be advanced in their ministry because they are threatened by you. They are insecure. They feel like you want clout. They feel like you want a platform. There are people who will watch you from afar. They will never make mention of your name. They won't mention your name in certain rooms. They know that you gifted. They know that you talented, and they will intentionally, personally not connect you, not say anything, shut doors on you. Anytime I see preachers in the media who can throw off on each other, throw shade at each other, dog each other out in the media, embarrass each other, rumors of them sleeping around, and call on one artist have a slip up in public, and then they'll start calling around telling people to shut their doors, don't let them in your church, but there's scandals going around about you sleeping, about you getting caught and sleeping around with somebody and getting people pregnant and stuff. Y'all, I'll take my chances on me. I will take my chances with me. I will embrace me and love me and accept me. If this experience has taught me anything, is that it's time for David to love David. You can't hurt me no more. You can't throw stones. You can't do it no more. You can't do it. You're not going to do it no more? I feel free. Thank you, God. You're not going to do it anymore. You're not. I remove myself from the equation. You're not going to do it to me no more. You are not going to talk crazy to me anymore. You're not going to throw off on me no more. You're not going to embarrass me. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't care what you say anymore. Because I realize it's not going to be enough for you. And I'm not doing this for you. I did this because of God. In 2019, the reason why I left Cincinnati, in 2019, I left Cincinnati because I was in a homosexual relationship with my ex. We were out. I wasn't hiding it. I didn't care if anybody knew. I didn't. I'm grown. I am 36 years old. And everything that's happening in the world right now, we don't even know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. And do you think I'm really going to be bound up and tied up and held hostage and put in a cage and put in a prison by you people, you church people, and not pursue my dreams? Y'all, I can sing. I really write songs. But because of my experience in church, I had a lot of trauma around my singing. I would get intimidated to sing because I went to show choir and I had somebody tell me that I sound flat when I sing. You know how many people out there in the industry cannot sing? You know how many people in the industry who cannot sing or write songs and they're successful. And what is happening in the world right now today, we don't even know if it's going to be a war. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen. You think I'm going to sit here with all of these gifts and talents and be terrified and scared to sing the songs that I wrote? Whether you think my voice sounds good or not, I can actually hold a tune. I can sing, I can write songs, and I can produce it and put my own music out. Y'all, the reason why I started putting my music out there is because I've been writing since I was a kid, and they're my experiences. There are a lot of my experiences that I've had. And I'm not trying to be on here and cry. I just don't even care how I'm expressing it. I don't even care. I don't care anymore. I don't care how it's coming out. If you don't like me, it's okay. Just go away. If my page is not helping you, if it's not empowering you, it's okay. You can go away. Then I'm not for you. What I realize is there are a people that are meant for me. There is somebody who needs me to advocate. There is somebody who needs me to speak up and say enough is enough. There is somebody out there who has gone through the torture, who has gone through the pain and the struggle and the suffering that I have gone through. And they need to know God can love you. God can love you. Yes, he can. He loves you. He loves you broken. He loves you the way that you are. God loves you exactly how you are. And if I'm never perfect enough for you to listen to me preach to you, it's fine. I don't care. And if I'm never the ideal male person, if my voice is not deep enough, if I'm not skinny enough, if I'm not fat enough, if I don't have enough hair, if you don't like my wig, my lace that I'm wearing, whatever it is, I'm going to be David Collins White. That's it. And I'm not going to shrink, and I'm not going to adjust myself to make you feel comfortable with me. Either I don't benefit you, I don't bring value to you, I'm not serving you, and you move on, or keep your mouth shut. Leave me alone. In 2019, when I was in that relationship and we had that breakup, me and my ex-boyfriend, I was working in corporate bank. I was working at, I forget the name of the bank. I was working at Fifth Third Bank. I was in corporate. I was in my cubicle. And I had been in this relationship for a while, and I wasn't even going to church. And I kept feeling the presence of God. And I said, why do I feel God? You don't like me like this. You don't want this. I was trained and taught you can't be in the presence of God because you're nasty, you're dirty. Then I went home, y'all. I went home and I was washing my dishes at home, and I was at the kitchen sink, and I started feeling the presence of God. And I'm like, God, what do you want from me? I'm not ready yet. I'm not what you want me to be for me to praise you. And I said, how do I do this? And he said, worship me for life. He said, praise me for life. And I started praising God for my life. I said, okay, I can pray, because let everything that have breath praise the Lord. And so I knew that I felt worthy enough to do that because I was breathing. And so I could give him praise. And then after that, God said this to me and I heard him like it was a real person. He said, David, the whole time you've been trying to earn my trust, but I've been trying to earn yours in 2019. And I said, wow, what does that even mean? He was telling me that he loved me. And I said, oh my God, I've been grinding my gears all these years for people, not for him. I was doing it for people. I was trying to earn people's validation. I was trying to be the best saint in church so that I would be considered worthy enough so that I could use my gifts. I could use my talents. I had to make sure I was checking all the boxes and doing all the things for people. No relationship with God. And so when he said that to me, when God said, you've been trying to earn my trust, but I've been trying to earn yours, I felt the love of God in a way, y'all, he had won my heart in such a way that I was like, oh my God, God, you love me like this? You mean that you want me like this? And from that moment on, whatever God told me to do, I was going to do it. I ended up leaving, moving to Atlanta. People thought I was crazy. Guess who moved me in their house? A lesbian couple. A lesbian couple. When the church people knew that I was staying because God told me to stay in Atlanta. I tried to reach out to the church people and they shut their doors and did not let me in. Nobody wanted to help me, but a lesbian couple said, God told us that you're a man of God and we are to house you. Live 2 minutes from Rick Ross' house in Atlanta, Georgia. Have a 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom house. Gave me a room in their house. Took care of me financially. Paid for my cars. Made sure it was fixed. And do you know, still to this day, they have still been in my life. Still loving me unconditionally. You cannot tell me the most drama I've had has been out of church people. And am I saying that all church people are like that? I'm not saying that it's all church people. It's some sweet, kind church people. But you know what the Lord taught me out of all of that? He taught me being a spirit of religion is a real thing. You go to church to learn the tradition and to learn principles. Church is your foundation. It teaches you to know who Christ is. It teaches you to know who God is. But we were never supposed to stay there. We were supposed to learn the principles, the values of the kingdom of God. Learn of his ways and his precepts. The commandments are to love. Love, faith and love. Once you believe that he is, then you become a believer. You become a part of the kingdom of God. And then you believe now. And then love. You start learning how God loves. You can't even prophesy if you don't love. Our pastor, when I was growing up, would tell us to hug our neighbors so much in church. And we were the worst people ever. So much drama. You mean to tell me we loving each other in church and having a fist fight right outside the door before they can? I would see actual fist fights, people banging it out. I said, something is off. Something is off. And I'm supposed to listen to you. You're supposed to sit over me and you're supposed to be my preacher. Y'all, it got so much since I've been going through deliverance and healing and God has been restoring me in such a beautiful way. I can talk about it now. But y'all, I started thinking about it. I said, we have to write letters. We had to write a letter before we could attend somebody else's church. Excuse me? So I gotta get a letter from my pastor and bring it over to you so that you can sign off of it. What? I'm not your slave. I'm not a prisoner. Y'all, some of this stuff sounds crazy. Here I am, 36 years old. And you think I'm going to get a letter from a pastor no, it's okay. It's not necessary. I'm not doing that. You don't own, we belong to God. Who do think you are. And you know what? I understand that what I'm saying might be controversial, that some people may not agree with what I'm saying. But guess what, y'all? God gave us freedom of choice. If God doesn't force himself on us, why are you forcing yourself on the people? If God has given us free will, because that's what I learned about the love of God. He doesn't force you. It's free will. He extends the offer for you to begin a relationship with him. He doesn't beat you upside the head and say, you're going to be in a relationship with me, or I'm going to take everything from you. I'm going to shut everything down. Do you know there are people that think that it was God's love that all the doors shut in Cincinnati and that I lost everything, that God is a punisher, that he took everything from me to teach me a lesson? This is the kind of mindset that we have of God, that this is how he wants us to serve him, by shutting doors down, cutting our favor off, by punishing us. Do you know I got exhausted by church in 2019? The reason why I wasn't going, because I was exhausted. There was a standard that was so high that I realized I can't even live up to it. Lord, if this is the standard, I'd have been sat down in church 2-3 times. I guess I just don't qualify to be one of the saints. I guess I'm not one of the brothers in the church, because I'm just never going to be enough right for me to ever qualify. I'm not going to be enough. I got a word in my belly. I can prophesy to a person. I can see their life. I can tell them what their future is, their past. I can use word of not all of these gifts working in me, but the church restricted me. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go there, you can't go there. It felt like a prison. I said, I'm never going to qualify to ever be able to do anything God called me to do, because I will never measure up. It will never be enough. And this is why we have super depressed people in church. This is why we got people depressed in church. And for those of you who seen me cry on live, this is how I knew we have to really let this mind be in us, which was also in Christ Jesus. We really have to rewire our thinking. There is some bad thinking in church. There are some people, y'all won't like this, but there's some people who don't even need to go to church for a while. I think it will do them some good to just take a break. They go every week to multiple services and are still the same person. But because they friend or they colleague, they buddies who they trust they sin with outside of church will promote them and give them engagements, because they, y'all, I'm not saying it's everybody, but you cannot argue with me that it's not happening at all. Now, you know that's a complete lie. If somebody see my video and they start preaching in their church that what I'm saying is a problem, then you know that is a very high level of delusion, because they are not willing to confront the truth that it is happening out here, where people are promoting their colleagues, their peers, because they shared a level of sin with them. Do y'all know I was growing up in church? Different guys was sleeping with me, and then they would go up in the pulpit and start preaching, and they would get praised. But because people knew what my sin was, and I wasn't masculine, I was more noticeable. You couldn't hide mine, but you could hide theirs. They were. And am I saying that because I'm bitter? Am I saying that because I don't forgive them? No, these are facts. What I'm telling you is what I've lived. You can't argue with my experience. You can't, somebody who's lived the life, you can't sit here and argue with me about something I've experienced firsthand. I didn't see it. I don't have to be on the front row seat. It was my life. We would go from the pulpit to me, them, listen, this is how I know that I have the nature of Christ in me. Because do you know how much I could... This is how I know I'm doing this in love, because I could do a whole lot of damage. But that's not my motive and intention for sitting here today. I'm not here for that. So now let's address the criticism. now that I got that off my chest, because I need people to just, if you don't like what I'm doing, just mind your business. It's fine. I just want you to know why I'm living my life now. I just want you to know why I have embraced my truth. And somebody is going to get wind of this, and they're going to want to preach it in their pulpit, because they're going to say it's apostasy. They're going to say the enemy presents himself as an angel of light. They're going to say there are people getting a reprobate mind. I know ministry. I know it all. So I already know about it. They're not going to say that, oh, he got delivered. They're not going to say God healed him and restored him so that he could go back and tell somebody else. They're not going to tell you that. The first thing they're going to say is a spirit of delusion. It's a spirit of deception. They're going to say he has fallen away from Christ. They're going to say he got a reprobate mind. They're going to say he got unforgiveness in his heart. They're going to say there's bitterness. They're going to say you can't have sweet water and bitter water coming out of the same vessel. They're going to say those church people should have sat down. They did the right thing. They're going to preach to you and say you should have accountability. They should be sending letters. You should have a letter before you go to their church. They're going to tell you everything that I'm saying, unless you can think for yourself, unless you got your own discernment. I've been flown out to preach. I'm telling you, I know how it works. I've had contracts where people signed and paid me to. I know how it goes. And some of these people, I still consider them a friend. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? Some of these people, I still consider them a friend. Why? Because God changed my heart. Watch this. I don't have a problem with them because I know perfection does not exist. Perfection is not a real thing. And if you think we press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling in Jesus. Every day I'm pressing, and the grace of God doesn't cover everything. And everybody keep preaching about any church that does not want to embrace grace is a clear sign that something is wrong, because guess what the message of grace comes from? Jesus came to usher in the dispensation of grace and truth. And so if they're preaching against the grace message, that is the Antichrist. They're telling you to be careful of the Antichrist and be careful, watch for your souls, and you can't eat at every table. But they don't like the prosperity message. God said, I would that you would prosper and good health, even as your soul prosper. He said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, to bring you to an expected end. The Bible talks about prosperity. He talks about grace. There are 7 to 8 dispensations of time. We start with innocence. We go to consciousness. We got government. We got all of these dispensations. We get all the way over to grace and truth, which was the reason why Jesus came, because there was something in the system of church. There was something wrong with the system. They were abusing people with church to manipulate them. You gotta have your own mind. You gotta be able to go to God and let him give you discernment so that you can think about this for real. And then you got all these people sitting in church, and if we can say 50% of the people are actually prospering and their businesses are prospering, their money is these are curses. They are cursing you. This is why ain't nobody prospering. This is why you keep coming back to church every week the same way. You keep coming up in the prayer lines, they keep telling you to wait on God. And you've been waiting, and it's been 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. When is he going to do it? Because what I found out is while I kept on waiting and listening to them, they were prospering off of my money. They were prospering. I was helping them to prosper while they were telling me to sit tight and be quiet and don't go to nobody else's church. Make sure I show up every Sunday at their church. They were prospering off of me and telling me to wait on God, but not teach. You got to go. Faith is dead without. Am I saying this is every church? I'm not saying it's every church. I'm not saying it's every church. Don't y'all twist my words like that. There are some good churches out here. Don't you dare twist my words. Because you got people out here, they're very petty and messy, and they will try to twist your words and say that you said what you did not say. Listen to the entire video to know what I'm saying. I'm saying we got people that are going to church and they do not have spiritual discernment and they can't tell. They can't tell the difference between right and wrong. You got to do your own research. And we're living in an information age where people can research it for themselves. You can research it now. You can look it up yourself. When I left the church that I grew up in, they didn't agree with me. And when I started asking questions, they said that I was being disrespectful because I didn't agree with them. I was asking questions and I was speaking out. So now you're being disrespectful. Anytime you go to a place where when you start to speak up and ask questions and you really want to know and they say that you're being disrespectful, it's a clear sign that something is not right. It's not right. So do I need to address the criticism that I've been getting about my music? Do I really need to address the criticism? And some of the people that are criticizing me, it's interesting. One of the people that were criticizing me, God bless her soul, I love her. What's her name? I can't even think of her name right now. She's in look at my status. Somebody must have reported. I didn't see my status. But LaWanda, powerful woman of God. She sang for Juanita Bynum. When she used to be in New York, she would bring her in to sing and stuff like that. I even brought her. I booked her one time for one of my awakenings that I did in Cincinnati. An amazing gift, anointed, powerful. Do you think I was surprised to see her in my comments? Did I feel like it was messy? Yes, I did. I felt like it was messy because I honored her and I respected her. I even prophesied to her, prophesied into her life. Whether or not people think what I prophesied was wrong, or people have called me a false prophet. They said all kind of, okay, I don't have to be a prophet. If you don't think I'm a prophet, then I don't have to be a prophet. But I edified her and I built her up because I saw her gift. I've only been kind to her. So when I seen her in my comments on my video of my new song that I put out, Breathe on Us Again, and yes, I don't have on any clothes. I don't have on any clothes because it's my self-expression. You don't have to agree with it. Somebody said, okay, kids could be watching this. Whatever you think about. Are you kidding me? Kids could be watching it. There's literal porn on social media now. And do you know the crazy thing is when I posted the video and I saw that and I started seeing some of the comments, I said, oh my God, I didn't even think of that because I could have been wearing black shorts. Actually, I felt decent enough to post the video because they were just regular black underwear. And the reason why I was doing it is because I was free. I'm naked before God. I'm letting people see my expression that I'm saying, God, start us over again. I'm in and the reason why I did it was because people seen the video that I did before of me saying I was going to wet my hair in the shower. So I'm like, well, they're already seeing that I'm in the shower. I'm wetting my hair. Okay, well, let them see the rest of the video. It's just me being myself. The bottom line is, I'm not saying that you have to like it. If you don't agree with it, you even have freedom to share your opinion. Yes, you do. But I have the freedom to share what I think about you posted in the comments about me too. And my friend John commented in the post, and then we had I forget his name. But he posted in the comment under my friend John. I don't know if he still works at UC College. I forget his name, but very powerful. You know, the music guy over there. He commented under my friend John. If you feel that I'm messy, please come to me. As I said, okay, but this is the thing, LaWanda. I'm not mad at you. First of all, let me say this, LaWanda. I'm not mad at you, and I'm not reading the whole thing. You came in my comments. You did not come to me in person, baby. You didn't come to me in person. So I don't even have to, I'm not offended by you. I'm not upset. But when you went into my comments and you did that publicly, and so I'm just returning back to you the way that it was delivered to me. I'm now speaking to you directly, publicly, the same way that you commented your opinions about how you felt about my video. Again, I'm not offended by you. I was surprised. I was shocked that you didn't come to me first personally because I know about you and because I brought you, I thought that if you had something to say about it or share, the way that you shared it, because you were saying that the content didn't match, but it's free for anybody's interpretation. When you do art, if you go to an art gallery, right? I've been to art galleries before. When you go to an art gallery, they have very abstract looking art. And every person that looks at that art, they get a different perception of it. They get a different perception of it. I read the comment. So LaWanda and me addressing you, you should not feel any type of way about it, because I'm just addressing you back the same way that you address me. You addressed me in the comment. I saw first the man of God, Timothy Jr., the man of God. I saw his comment. He said, "Are you still a man of God?" And I'm like, well, what do you mean am I still a man of God? Are you saying that I shouldn't be a man of God? Or if these were questions that anybody had, then I had another woman of God writing a whole page of messages in my comments about my video, when I'm just being myself, y'all. I show up, I'm being myself, I post a video, fine. If you want to comment on the video, feel free to do it. But I also have the freedom. Know this, I have the freedom to come back and address the comments, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm addressing the comments. And so if you don't like this way that I am replying to your comment, next time just come to me in the inbox. Again, I'm not offended. I'm not offended. Again, did I think it was messy? Yes, I thought it was messy. Why did I think it was messy though? Because it's you, LaWanda. I literally have paid you. You have come to my events, The Awakening, and I paid you to be one of the singers, the very first one that I did. And when I was living in California, we were going to bring you out there too. So I think was the shocker here for me, it be the people that you actually love their gift, you respect who they are, you honor them, you will even financially support them for what they do. And when you see how they carry on about you in public, because here's the thing, LaWanda, here's the thing. If you posted a video, LaWanda, if you created a song, LaWanda, and you posted the music video to that song, and you had people that know you go in the comment, people that you do ministry with, that support you, all of those things who you consider as peers, colleagues, whatever, and you see them in the comments under your music video saying, okay, well, the video doesn't match the lyrics. It doesn't matter what they're saying necessarily. It's just the shock that it's them when you respect them and you thought they could, you feel like you have a rapport with them, so you expect them to come to you in private. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like they will come to you and be like, well, you know, man of God, I mean, before I say anything publicly, I want to say, oh, congratulations. It wasn't no congratulations. It wasn't no congratulations. I love your song. And see, even right here, I want to say this, LaWanda. There's no apology. And even if you apologize, I accept your apology, but immediately no accountability. Like, you literally just came into the video just now defending yourself instead of just saying, I understand where you're coming from. Interesting. What did I do? I shared my comment. I said, wow, y'all being messy. And I laughed about it. But that was the opportunity for you to just say, okay, I apologize. And if you apologize, I can accept the apology from you, but just accept the accountability that it was not clear to me what your intention were when you posted it. Also, I want to say, even on TikTok, I got people on TikTok, I got people on Instagram. Facebook is a smaller platform for whatever reason for me when it comes to certain type of content, because a lot of my preacher friends, singers, a lot of church happens on Facebook. So I'm usually particular about what I post. But I decided in this season of my life, I'm just not going to try to filter or alter certain versions of myself. I'm just going to post it everywhere and let people think what they want to think about it. So that's all I really have to say about that, LaWanda. God bless you. I wish you well. I wish you the best. Again, I have no issues with you. But was I a little bit confused when I seen your comment? Yes, I was. And I'm just saying that. So anyway, LaWanda, but see, this is what's interesting to me, y'all. This is what's interesting to me about her choosing not to apologize. This is the same church that we talk about love. I'm glad that y'all can see it on a public platform. I'm so glad that all of you can see what things have been like on a public platform, that you got people who feel justified in their actions. They can come on your post. They can come on your platform. They can say whatever they want to say. And when you address what they say, they decide that they do not want to be accountable. They don't want to honor you. They don't want to respect you. They don't want to come to a mutual agreement or understanding with you. They don't want to level set with you. And then they will feel like they are justified in their action and can move on in Jesus. They feel justified. And then you tell me if that's love. Because this is what we're preaching every Sunday. We're preaching that we got to love our neighbor, stuff like that. So if you feel justified in that, God bless you. I love you too. I actually do love you. But this is not a practice that I won't be doing that. I'm just going to say what I want to say. I'm going to mean it the way that I mean it. And this is the thing about me. If I comment something, I'm particular about how I comment, first of all. If I comment something on somebody's page or say something to anybody, I want y'all to know when it comes to comments, I'm already used to people saying whatever they want to say. I will say this for the last time. It's not that someone said something. It's who said something. So I don't have a problem with people commenting. I don't have a problem with people sharing their opinions. I'm not offended by that. If you're going to be in public space, I've already been through that my whole entire life. I learned how to be okay with people having an opinion about what you do. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with it. Again, the initial shock for me was who said something. I didn't say... somebody said, David, what did she do wrong? I'm saying I was shocked that it was her that commented on the video. What she said was, okay, so one of the other girls, I know her grandmother. One of the other girls commented off of Tim's comment. Y'all can go back and read the video. The comments are there. One of the girls commented on what he said. That's what I'm trying to figure out, or whatever she said. Then LaWanda came back. She came back and it was like, it became like a little conversation. But because it was the three of them, first of all, I didn't really get anything positive from it. I didn't get anything positive. And see, this is the thing. See, like when we hear gossip and stuff about people, and this is why I was shocked about the Tim guy saying something. I was shocked about him saying anything to me because there's rumors about him. There's rumors about him, his ex-wife, stuff like that. If they got a divorce, if he slept with somebody else. My thing is, the initial shock was, when people say things to address you and talk about you because maybe they don't agree, it's not that people are peopling. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with people peopling. It's who said something about it. Maybe my expectations, maybe I expected a little more just because of who it is, because of the standard that we all have in Christendom. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, when somebody addresses you, are you still a man of God? And then somebody else followed that with, I'm still trying to figure out too, because, and then LaWanda come in, the content doesn't even match the lyrics. When the whole time I got DMs, I got comments on other platforms of people saying, wow, you did an awesome job. Some of the people don't even go to church. Some of the people aren't even church goers. And so if it didn't reach you, then it was not for you. I literally had people who don't go to church who literally came to me and said, this blessed me, this got me through the week, because it helped them to feel. I'm just saying, Phil, because when I initially saw his comment, I'm like, but isn't there rumors about you? I don't just get on Facebook and start putting out all the people's drama or comment or whatever. So when he approached me when he left the comment the way that he did, and I saw everybody following up the way that they did, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I expect somebody who doesn't know me before I expect it to be peers. Who I consider peers are people who know me from back home, when I might know your tea and I don't share it. So if I say that Pastor Timothy, you know, the drama that I heard about him with his ex-wife, or if he was cheating or she was cheating or whatever, you know, I heard these rumors about them. I didn't go on one of his posts of him preaching and be like, are you still a man of God? Like, they still letting you preach after I heard the rumors about you? Like, huh? I didn't go on one of your posts and ask if you were still preaching or if you were still a man of God when I heard some of the rumors that I heard about you. And I mean this in love. This is why I was confused. This is why I was trying to get an understanding, like, well, what does he mean, am I still a man of God? When if you still qualify as a man of God, why can't I? Yes, your brother commented on my post. She said, I understand that. I just commented about the music and the... No. I think we should talk about it all. Because LaWanda was also following up with his... Now watch this. This man of God, I think he still preaches. I think her brother is still preaching. I think he's still preaching. I think he's still accepted. People still... I heard about, you know, them trying to start another ministry with different churches. And, you know, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that comes to me that I know about and that I heard about. So that's what I mean. Yeah, he said, so basically you're not saying that you're hurt about the comment. You're more hurt because who it came from. And Phil, thank you for saying that, but I'm not even hurt though. I'm not hurt. I'm just saying I wanted to come publicly and address it of why I was shocked. I'm definitely not hurt because nobody in Cincinnati and their ministry, I don't really feel like anybody can really hurt me more than what has already happened in that city. I've come there and did an event and did different things. And I've had people gossip about me, say they didn't want their members coming to my stuff or none of that. And me know people's drama, their dirty laundry, all kind of stuff. Me know different things. I've even been in relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? I've had situationships with people in the city who right now, y'all still fellowship with them and accept them in your churches to preach. And whole time, I've had a whole situationship with them. And they're friends. So what I'm saying is, if y'all can come in my post and y'all can comment, if y'all can do that, then I'm free to also talk about it publicly because you decide. So this is what I'm going to say bottom line. Because y'all came and commented on the video and because of who you are, y'all opened the door for me to address the comment publicly so that I could share my thoughts. So what's happening tonight is you're getting to hear what I thought about you commenting because you did it publicly. So I'm addressing what I actually think versus me filtering it, watering it down, pretending like I'm not hurt, I'm not offended. I'm just having this conversation publicly about what I think since y'all came publicly and shared what y'all think. Okay, Nakia says she understands the beef with her brother. But I don't really have beef with your brother. I promise I don't have beef with your brother and I don't have beef with LaWanda. And this is the thing about LaWanda. If I really was coming for LaWanda, number one, this is the thing about LaWanda. LaWanda, I didn't invite you anymore because LaWanda really was not my particular taste as a singer. She was not my particular taste. And when I seen her in New York at Dr. Juanita Bynum's thing, I felt for a second that because I was sitting on the floor or whatever, I felt for a second that she really didn't want to talk to me or address me or whatever, or whatever the case is. So I've already kind of been observing or had my opinions or my thoughts about certain things. But this is the thing. Look, so let me say this. LaWanda is not necessarily my favorite singer, right? Because I understand that as I'm singing, I literally have a song, Damned If You Do. No, Damned If You Don't. It's on all social media platforms, Damned If You Don't. You can go and listen to my real voice. Like, I'm singing raw because I know some people, they're hearing some of the songs. And, you know, I can get into that too about some of the songs. Some people hear the enhancements in my voice. Some people hear the difference because I use technology and digital platforms in order for me to get my songs out. So I get all of that. I'm going to speak my truth. Since we're here, I'm going to make sure I say what I say, and we can leave it here after I say what I want to say. But what I'm saying this for is I invited LaWanda, honoring her and respecting her, even though she was not my ideal singer. I may not be everybody's ideal singer. I just might not. LaWanda has not really done it for me. She, like, when she sings, I love her heart. The worship sings pure. But after this experience that I've had with her, it's kind of changed my perception a little bit. And I'm only saying this because we are now having an open, honest conversation. I'm not going to say this about you. I'm not going to say this about LaWanda to somebody and her not know what I really think or how I really feel about her. I still have high respect for her. I still think she's a gift. I think that she's a singer and she's respected in her own right. Look, she said, now you're being messy. Wow, that is so not my character at all. But you see the double standard? I'm so glad that people can see this because LaWanda, when you got in my comments, you opened this up for us to have this conversation publicly. So now you think it's messy because I'm actually being genuinely open and honest, since you were genuinely open and honest about what you thought. So now I'm being open and honest about what I really think. And what I really think is that you've never really been my preference as a worship leader or a singer, but I still paid for you to come. I still had my team reach out to you at the time. I had a team. I still have people that I work with. I do have a team. But at the time, my team, I had them reach out to you, and we still paid you to come and sing for me. Now, you had no idea. You didn't know that that's what I thought about your voice. You didn't know that. But since you shared what you thought about my music video, which is not a real, y'all, that's not a real music video. That's another thing I wanted to say. My video is not a real music video. Y'all don't think I don't know photographers? I know celebrity photographers. I know celebrity videographers. I know people that can do this stuff. So you don't really think I haven't thought about the concept of the video and how I should post it and what I did and whoop to whoop. You don't think I already thought about that? I know what there's a photographer that I've used photographer. I've had camera people. You literally, LaWanda, for real. When you came to the awakening, we had sound, we had cameras. Really? You know this about me. You know I know how to do things. So when I posted my video, no, it was with intention. So no, we can't have the double standard. We can't have the double standard and say, now look who's being messy. No. I don't think, because now I know you weren't being messy, LaWanda. I now know, thank you for saying that. You weren't trying to be messy. So I want you to know, I'm not trying to be messy. And actually, I'm not being messy. I'm being truthful. I'm telling you the truth, that even though I had these ideas about you before you came, and before we brought you in, I still honored you. So that's that. Y'all, at the end of the day, and then I have my other sister, I think I saw her earlier in here. Where'd she go? Is it Tamika? Samika? What's her name? I'm trying to look for her. Are you still in here? She be inboxing me. She's really sweet. She go to Bethlehem Temple Church. She really sweet. So I was trying to look for her. Is it Tamika, Samika, Miss something? Dang, I wish I could look her up right now, but I can't because I'm on live. But I just want to say this. I tagged her. Anybody that I tagged, in my status. I don't know if the status is still there or if they removed. Oh, it's in the comments. I don't know if it's still up before I went live. I will say out of everybody, I respect her approach, because now it's one lady in there. She go to Christ Temple Church. Christ Temple, yeah. It's one. I think she go over there. I think she go to Christ Temple. I think. It's another lady. She was just really going in, and I was in the flesh, and this and this and that, and all of that, and woo to woo. And if you read in the comments on the video, I told her, I said, I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you, or something like that, to that regard. I hope now y'all understand that at the end of the day, let people post their content. I mean, and at the end of the day, say whatever you want to say. But also know when you step out there to say what you got to say, that people are also going to share their opinions as well. And so you cannot be dishing out comments and then you come into the public space and then they're ready to have a conversation with you. And then you want to retract your statement or your intention behind it, or if you were being messy or whatever. It's all content. It's fun. People enjoy it. They love it. Whatever. But once you come into that space, you cannot retract your statement and then not want to have an open dialogue with somebody on that same platform. You shared your comment and then think that they're being messy because they too want to share with you what they think. That's not how it works. So anytime I post any of my content, I want y'all to know it's free game. Light it up in there. If you don't like it, you can say whatever you want to say. There's no surprises when it comes to this social media thing. There is no surprises. You listen. When it comes to betrayal, when it comes to people, you have to adjust your expectations. Tonight, I'm letting you know there was an initial shock, but I've been doing this content creation thing actually since about 2015, 2016, maybe even, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. Some people seen when I post some of my earlier videos from back in the day. I've been doing this for a long time. This is not my first time. And I've dealt with criticism in the church. Even when my drag pictures were thrown out at one time. I remember I was experimenting with drag. And, I was fresh out of high school. And I started going to the bars. And because we were so sheltered as a kid. And I got the hair. And you know what I'm saying? And I got the makeup or whatever. And this guy wanted to date me. And he felt some type of way because I didn't like him back. And so the church that I was going to, let me say it like that. Not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody in the church. I'm just saying, but where I was going, they found my pictures and they started sharing it around the church. And I saw people just, spreading it around. And they asked me if this was true. And he locked me out of my social media. He got my passcodes, my passwords and everything. He posted all my drag pictures, deleted everything else. So all of my drag photos was there. That was public. I had to go through that. I was sat down when I went through my divorce with my ex-wife. That was public. I had to deal with that. So one thing about me is I'm going to be honest. One thing about me, hey Tay, one thing about me is I'm going to be honest. I don't have a problem with owning up to whatever it is, because I've gone through this for years. Even when I was set down in church, just different things. My whole life, I've had to learn how to navigate public space and people sharing their opinions or not approving of you or cringing, feeling very cringe because of your existence or different things. Okay, LaWanda, baby, we already covered that. I'm not even talking about that anymore. We're done now, LaWanda. We're done now. We don't need to do that anymore. It's not necessary. It's not necessary anymore. So anyway, I've already addressed it enough. I don't think I need to address it any more than I already have. That I don't have a problem with her. I don't have a problem with LaWanda. I think LaWanda is great. Okay, there she is, Miss Drea. Have you addressed them directly? Did Miss Drea, did they address me directly? That's my question. Did they address me directly? That's what I want to ask. Did they address me directly? And Miss Drea, you the one I was looking for. You the one I was looking for. Yes, I wanted you. I wanted this woman of God. I wanted you because I actually respect you, Miss Drea, for how you carried on in my comments. You did it in a respectful way. But I also want to say this, Miss Drea, did you need to address me in the comments too? Because now y'all look at this comment from Miss Drea. Drea, hear me very clear. I want everybody on the platform. Listen up real close. I have no issue with Drea. I actually respect her approach out of everybody. I think I was most impressed by her way. But now, Miss Drea, you addressed me publicly, baby. You were one of them too. And now you asking me, did you address them directly? So you also came into public space with me. So we don't need to talk about that no more, about anybody addressing each other in private, because it was never private. The moment everybody went into the comments where everybody in public can see it, it was no longer private. So we can ban that. That was at that point excluded. Because once everybody went in the comments, I'm not talking about the people who don't know me personally. I'm talking about people, I fellowship with Miss Drea. I remember Miss Drea back when I was at UC College, and we used to be in SBOC. I used to go to some of the Christian events, some of the singles meetings, some of that. She said, I'm dead covered. No, I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, because this double standard that we be having, y'all, we really gonna have to stop. We gotta stop with this double standard. Because if every person that I called out in those comments, thank you, bro. Now this is a brother right here, this man of God right here, Kashawn Stephan. I like him. Mad respect for you. And he's always himself. He's always true to who he is. He don't care, unapologetic, all of that. I love him. Thank you so much, man of God. I appreciate you. More power, beautiful voice, all of it. But y'all, when you come for me in the comments and it's not in private, I'm going to come and address the comments in public space where the conversation began, because that's the door you opened. Thank you so much, man of God, Jarrell. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It feels good. Y'all know, ever since I embraced being myself, this is amazing. I feel like I'm flying. This is amazing. I'm just not going to hold it back anymore, because why should I? Everybody be doing what they want to do until it's uncomfortable. This hair movement, yes. There's so much hair. Listen, I'm going to be giving y'all so much life with this hair. Do you know the community that I just moved into? Do you know? Watch this. I don't know if any of these people are in church. Do you know my community that I live in? Everywhere I go, the people gag. They love my hair. The job that I work at, the college that I work at, everybody around me. Oh my God, we love you. You're so beautiful. Oh my God, we love your hair. Getting so much support from strangers, people who don't know me, loving me down, saying I'm helping them, helping their life, all of that. And then here we go with some people that knew me from back in the day. And Drea laughing because she know I love her. I really do love her. I love LaWanda too. I had to stop her from commenting because I'm just like, LaWanda, it's okay, baby. Y'all wanted to talk publicly about this. Y'all wanted to talk about this publicly. And listen, the reason why I'm so free to be me is because I'm not hurt anymore about it. I used to be hurt real bad by church. But I done had a 7-year detox from church. Do y'all know in October, it'll be 7 years. In October, it'll be like 7 years for me. Yes, I've gone into church, I preached different things. I have my accountability, different leaders or whatever that I would talk to. And even right now, do you know I still have a leader that I'm accountable to, that I talk to? First of all, I let all my leaders know that I was going to be doing some different stuff, unless they decided that I'm not accountable to them anymore, unless they feel some type of different way and they decided that they don't want to be associated with me no more, then, that's totally fine. I'm okay with that. Like, I embrace me. I love me. This is me. This is who I am. I done even drank with some leaders. Do you hear what I'm saying? I done even had dinner. We done broke bread. We done had wine together, drink or whatever. I done seen it all, y'all. I done been behind the curtain and I know what's back there. So all I'm saying is I embrace this public space. Okay, being a child of God. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Timothy. Let me just read. Let me hear what he got to say. Let me just hear what he had to say. Being a child of God, we can't do what we want to do. Okay, see, yeah. I don't feel... Being a child of God, you can actually do what you want to do. Yes, you can. You actually can do what you want to do. God gave us free will. But this is the thing. Do you know what's interesting about all of this? Do you know that God gave me permission? Do you know that God gave me permission to be myself? And do you know I check in with God before I do everything? Do you know where all my ideas come from? Minister Timothy or Brother Timothy, I don't know what your title is. I don't know if you still a man of God, if you still preach. I don't know if you got sat down. Like I was telling them, I heard that there was a scandal about you. I don't know if you cheated on your ex-wife. I don't know if y'all still together. I don't know if she cheated on you or whatever happened. I don't know if you sat down, still standing up, sideways, tilted to the corner, backwards, forwards, upside down, twisted around, wrapped around. I don't know what your situation is. But I will say this, man of God. I am led of the Lord. I check in with God about everything, and I have leaders that I'm accountable to, and I tell them, I check in with them and let them know what I'm doing. And I'm just letting you know, man of God, absolutely. You can do, because it's called a will. He gave us free will. So, yes, you can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. Yes, you can. But it's better to obey the Lord and be led by him. It's better to do that. And you learn that with maturity. And guess what? Did Jesus not address things? He did address it. Yes, he did. He addressed it. And am I addressing y'all in love? I'm addressing you in love. I'm telling you, I don't have a problem with you, man of God. But when you came, he said, I can join and tell my truth myself. No, you don't need to join. I don't need you to join because I didn't let LaWanda join. I didn't let anybody join. I'll tell you what. I tell you what, does anybody want a part 2 of this? No, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because that's not what this live about. I'm addressing you. You can share how you feel in the comments right here so everybody can see. I don't need to bring you on live or any of that because, to be honest, it's really not going to do anything for me. Because as long as I know you're here and you can hear what I'm saying, and you can share your comment right there, I'm okay with that level of communication, okay? But I know you got a story. We can do this on my podcast. Okay, podcast conversation sounds interesting. Well, just DM me. Just DM me. That's totally fine. I will think about it, but DM me. Yeah, we could talk about that. But here's the thing. The bottom line is, y'all, the moral of the story, if you come for somebody, I just want everybody that's on this live tonight that's hearing all this. If you come, I done already told everybody, Timothy, about my gay relations with men. Right now, I'm on Facebook dating. Y'all, I'm on Facebook dating. And on Facebook dating, it's for men. And a couple of years ago, yeah, what was it, last year or the year before, 2024, I was engaged and was almost married. I don't got a problem telling my truth, baby. I don't got to, because I'm open to love. I'm dating. Listen. And do I love God? I still love God. I still love God. Yeah. Yes, I do. And you know what? If you feel some type of way about that and you don't want to follow me, I totally understand. It's totally fine. But I've been David for years. I literally have been me for years. And some of the people that I've literally done ministry with, I've been David for years. I've been David for years. Okay. So I'm just saying, people sometimes will embrace you in private. People will embrace you because I don't have no issue with telling my truth. Y'all done seen all of it. Oh, that is really funny. Somebody said, point out your sin. Okay, we got people that still masturbate. They jacking off. We got women still fingering themselves. Men still battling with lust, jacking off and stuff. Looking at girls' nude pictures and stuff like that. We got people who, when they get mad, they be cussing people out. We got people, men secretly hunching on men behind the scenes in church and going up to the pulpit, going to the altar, asking God for forgiveness. We got people that still lie, cheat. We got people saying, bitch, fuck, ass, shit. We got people doing a whole lot of stuff. we got saints on here that are, they're just playing games, who listen to trap music. We got people on here who struggle with smoking weed, who struggle with cigarettes, who struggle with drinking liquor. We got people on here who do scratch offs. Name your sin. I don't know what your sin is. Name it. You in there somewhere. Name your sin. We got people in here who secretly don't want to be with their husbands, don't want to be with their wives. Watch this. And before you got in church, you was a mess. Before you got in church, you was a mess. And you still in church, you ain't got it all cleaned up. Just stop that line. You ain't got it all cleaned up. Travis J. Robertson, you ain't got it all cleaned up. We got people who lie on their taxes. We got people who still ain't do their taxes. We got people who stealing money. Huh? We got people who's lying and saying that they in prayer during the week and they don't even pray at all during the week. They just show up to church and pretend that they've been saved all week. We got people who secretly going to the clubs and the bars. We got people who got secret messages right now in their phone. We got people who got secret compartments in their phone where they doing stuff. Watch this. And Travis, what you just commented on my page, we can say that's a sin right there too. Because listen, you just joined into the conversation and you didn't come in my DM. You didn't come in my DM, man of God. You wanted to come public with your comment just like everybody else. So you are part of the gossip if that's what I'm doing. You here right now, it's on you too. Soon as you stepped out there and commented, you got it on you too, man of God. So now you need to go to the altar and repent because you on here getting in the conversation. Okay, so now everybody is in the sin. Okay? You can be found somewhere on there. It's finding you out somewhere in everything. We can go in the Bible right now and he talks about all the sins. He lists them, heresies, all of the different sins. All of them named in there. You just did one of them. Okay? So he who is without sin, either you're going to be real about it and talk about it and just be open, because that's right now where I believe the church is. That's where I believe the church is right now. I believe that the church, we just need to be open and honest. Oh, okay. You agreeing with me? Okay, man, the guy. Okay. He agrees with me. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, because nobody is exempt. Your bishop is not exempt. You got people mad at your bishop because he got promoted and they know his sin that he currently is doing. Somebody don't agree with him because he currently doing some sin or just did something a couple of weeks ago and they don't agree and they don't think he qualifies. Everybody got something in their life that might disqualify them from whatever promotion or elevation they feel like they deserve. If God looks and shine a light down on all of our life, the point is, it's in there somewhere. You got it in there somewhere. Okay? I'm talking about me too. But I'm just saying, let's just talk about it. Listen, some of the people in church, they mad. They pissed off because they want to get their rocks off. You got women in the church, they want a little bit of dick. You got some men in the church, they want some dick too. They want some dick too. You got men in the church, you want a little of a JJ. He went for JJ Andick. You got some people in the church, they want a little trance. They want a little this, a little that, a little that. They want to sample everything. So you got people all pent up. And really what I found out, the real reason why people be so mad and so upset, they be so mad and so upset because you're living in freedom and you're living your life, because we only get this one life, and you're having a wonderful life. You are having fun. You out drinking. Y'all, I drinks. Yes, I do. I ain't had an edible in a while, but yeah. Every once in a while, I have my drink. And you, what is it? Crown Royal is good. Tequila is good. Tequila Sunrise, tequila. We just need to be honest and talk about it. I ain't had an edible because when I get high, y'all, you don't want to be around me when I get high. Because to be completely honest with you, I'm just not even fun. I don't know how to do the high thing. But every once in a while, yes, I can have a drink. Do I like to get drunk? I don't like to get drunk because it's not fun. I don't want to be hungover. That's just because I don't prefer to be hungover. I don't want to be hungover. It's not fun. Okay. I don't want to be sick the next day. I got to work. I want to enjoy myself. So I'll have a couple of them so I feel good. And do y'all know that the Lord be talking to me? He talks to me. He walks with me. He talks to me. He tells me everything. Do you know, before I started being honest with God, I couldn't be honest with myself? Let me say it again. Before I learned how to be honest with God, I could not be honest with myself. And God said to me, he said, you've been trying to earn my trust. We do all of these things, not even for God anymore. We do it for politics because we want to be the best candidate for the next elevation so that they can finally attach minister on our name. So they can finally attach evangelist, elder, pastor, bishop, prophet, pastor. We do all of these things so we can finally be seen and recognized in church. He said, oh, because we used to have a Bible. I'm just saying, this is really me telling you, and we'll go. Now watch this. I will prophesy your life down, and with a real word from God, because he really does speak to me. And guess what? Have gone to the Lord and said, Lord, I don't think I can do this. I don't know why you want to, these people don't want me. They don't want to listen to me no more. And him say, but I need you to speak to them. So if God can use me, what's your problem? If God can still use me and say, yeah, he's dirt. If God used a dirty raven to feed the prophet during the time of a drought, if God can use a harlot for Joshua and had the spies in her house as a harlot, and then become Joshua's wife later on. This is in the Bible. And David was a man after God's own heart. A lot of people are just fake. I agree with you. It's time to be, we got rumors of wars. If I'm posting my music out here and I'm just showing the freedom of expression, it's something positive out there. I'm doing something creative. It's a whole lot going on out here, y'all. We don't even know if a war could break out tomorrow, the next second, the next hour. You got to live your life and learn to walk in truth. The worshipers, they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. I've been to some gay churches. No, I'm telling the truth. Prophetess Charlene, I'm telling the truth. Now, you should know me by now. You know I'm going to tell the truth. I'm saying after I done been to whatever kind of high mountain you want to call it, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It doesn't matter. It's not. It's because guess what? From the first member that's walking through the door all the way up to the top, struggling, not because they're bad people, because you were created inside of this. And the revelation that God gave me about this is that's why he died on the cross, to give us grace, because we're in this. Watch this. Let me say this. And then it's time to wrap it up. If you haven't heard any of my music, some of my stories of my family, I'm putting a lot of stuff out. I'm just putting it out. Just putting it out. Some of it is coded. I'm talking about some things in my songs. I've been putting it out because the Lord told me to just start putting it out. And you know what? In the studio, when you go to studios, people play games and stuff too. You can go to the studio, be working with people. They will drag your whole sessions out for the next 6 months because they want you to keep coming back to them and keep paying that money. And so even though I've learned that people even got to favor you and love you for them to even want to play for them to even want to work with your music. You got people that won't even fix your mic the right way in the studio so that you can produce the best sound. They will hold all the tricks for their best friends and their peers and the people that got top dollar and the big money. They'll hold it all for them, and then they will play with you when you come in the studio and you're trying to figure out, why ain't my music coming out right? Why is my song not coming out right? So did I use AI? Yes, I did. I use AI for some of my music. But I have a song in there, Damned If We Don't. That's my voice. The AI took my voice and it's blended with some of the AI. So it is a blend. But can I sing my songs live? Yes, I can. I can sing every one of my songs live. If I wrote it, I can sing it. It's in my key. It's written in the key that I sing comfortably in. I can sing every last song live. And I'm live on Damned If We Don't. That's fine. They don't have to play my music on the radio. No, I hear what you're saying though, Travis. They won't play your music on the radio. This industry stuff, all of it is rigged, y'all. None of it is real. None of it is really real. And so why did I do it? I did it that way because I didn't want nobody. People will try to block you. They will try to stop you. They will do, if they don't like you, they will gatekeep. They will try to block and stop you. But guess what? My music is out there now. You can hear it. Every last song from the age of 13, 14 years old, I've been writing all these songs. I've been writing, look, Zion, yeah. I've been writing all these songs. All these years. I've been writing the songs. I can sing every last one of them. I know the type of sound that I like. I know what kind of instrument I want. I know how to produce. I know how to get it all together. I done had a live recording before. I had issues with that, but I had a live recording before. Y'all, I know how to do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, people play games. They pick and choose what the rule is going to be today. And whatever that rule is that they expect you not to do today, they're going to change their mind tomorrow. It's going to be another set of rules that can't nobody do. And, oh, you didn't know it? Well, this is the rule now, and you're disqualified. You got to follow these rules. It's all people. They can change their mind. They can reset the rule. They can rearrange the rule. They can put a rule in. They can take a rule out. They can do whatever they want to do. It's up to you to decide what the trajectory of your life is going to be. The kingdom of God is to teach you principles. It's to teach you how to be a kind person. Kindness. Just be kind. I'm actually being kind tonight because I could have been on here cussing people out. I didn't need to cuss you out. I just said, hey, let me address it since everybody knows that you addressed me because everybody publicly seen it. So let me just come live. I'd rather just confront it and just talk about it. Why? There's no need to do that. We all grown. We're all grown. So, I mean, it's fine. People have podcasts where they're addressing stuff like Timothy said. They have podcasts. They're talking about it all. Even Keith, what's his name? Keith McQueen. Yeah, I mean, he be in my stories too. I be seeing everybody that be in my stories. And am I saying anything is wrong with him? I'm not saying anything is wrong with Keith McQueen. Whatever his journey is whatever. Woo to woo, rah rah. To each his own. And I have mad respect. But I'm just saying there's so many people who be in my stories. So many people. And I've always had respect for him. He's never disrespected me. I know he went on a podcast just recently, talk about his experience with God, and he doesn't want to have a gay church anymore and just different things. So you'll be surprised. Y'all will be surprised. So if I'm going to step out here like this, know that I felt clear. God definitely deals with me. He said a good cussing is okay from time to time, but I get you because I'm here for the great cussing. Now, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The literal thought that I had though when I seen the comments, my first thought, if y'all really wanna know the truth, I said, y'all hoes crazy. Y'all hoes is crazy. That was my first thought. That literally was, if I'm being honest, I said, wow. That was my first thought. But I didn't go in the comments and say that. I'm just speaking my mind because we're human and we have thoughts and we think about things. We think about things because we're human. That's why some of y'all be trying to, in y'all mind, y'all be like, bring every thought under subjection. You be in church trying to praise God and that man come in there with them biceps and triceps and you looking at his, penis print and it's been a drought. It be some married couples, they not sleeping together, some single people trying to hold on and you see his print and you got, dick prints all over social media and naked, half naked men. I'm like, y'all, please, my little video of me singing and dancing on my song that I posted, Breathe on Us Again, my little video ain't bothering y'all. Trust me. Trust me. You got people in the gospel industry that are singing songs, got a whole gay partner, they recording songs, you done shouted off and spoken to, holiness is right, holiness, and then he going back and getting digged down by his boyfriend, by his husband. Okay? Y'all. He going to sleep comfortably every night, getting what he want, and you up here trying to rebuke thoughts because your flesh is crying out because you ain't had nothing in a good 5-10 years. And so you mad at everybody because you really trying to do this thing right. And so you mad when you be seeing people at the altar all the time and you find out that God really loves them. She said, my mom used to say that we have to die daily. We do daily. But listen, I'm not going to front about it. I'm not going to play about it. I'm telling you, I done seen preachers come up out the pulpit, go straight to the bathhouse. And if for any of you that don't know what a bathhouse is, it's the sex house. Anybody, it's free game. Anybody can go in there and take off your clothes, the dark room. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been there yet. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit curious. Sometimes I be wanting to peek around. I be wanting to go down there and say, hey, like, I want to see what they be doing in there. I don't know if I don't. But I'm just saying, I just haven't been there yet. Just like I haven't been to a strip club yet. I just haven't been there yet. But that don't mean I didn't do other things. I'm just saying, we got people in here. We got people in here that just over spiritualize things. Like you just over spiritualize it so much, not realizing that God got you. He loves you. He already knew all of that about you, babe. He already knew you was going to have those issues, babe. And guess what? Can't nobody stop you from coming to him. Who gonna stop you? The veil was torn in half. He said, not yet. I'm just saying, Devon, I'm just saying I haven't been there yet because I'm curious about it. She said, I keep trying to log off, but this so needed. You needed to get this out. I think you should do a podcast. Well, thank you, LaWanda. I really appreciate it, LaWanda. I really appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, again, we're adults. We're grown. Y'all watching Love and Hip Hop. Y'all watching Housewives of Atlanta and still preaching the word on Sunday, still being the worship leader. You watching them talk about their life. You living vicariously through them. Y'all watching all these different reality shows, all these movies, these TV shows. When I was a kid growing up in church, my mama used to tell me, turn your face, don't look at it, keep your eyes pure. But you watching them have sex, you watching them cuss and everything else. Why do you take pleasure in looking at it or listening to trap music? You hear music, we got PJ Morton. We got people that's doing R&B music. We got Fantasia. We got, even like Leandria Johnson. She's one of my favorite singers, and people tried to close doors to her because she got things off of her chest and said the way it really was. When she got in the industry, she didn't know she was going to have to go through all of that. And you got people try to stop her and ban her from singing in churches and stuff. when you got a whole scandal going on about you? Why would you stop her because she's struggling with her drinking and stuff? I'm just saying, people are watching. People see all of that. And so you're going to try to stop her money when you're getting your money? You're still getting your money. You still have a living. You still earn a... I mean, because maybe you were offended by what she said. We should be mature enough now to this point that regardless of what anybody really want to talk about, that we can sit within our truth and be like, you know what? You know what? At the time of my life, that's the person that I was. And I'm, you know, would I do it that way, being who I am now? No. But in my past, watch this, everybody has a past. In my past, that was the version of me then who did that. And some people ain't even grown up yet. Some people have not even evolved. Some people have not even grown to a point where they have grown out of certain behaviors or certain things. They're not in a space where they can talk about it. They might be repressed, oppressed in their church. They may go to a place where they shun you. They sweep it under the rug. You can't talk about it. We have moved so far along in society now that if you're not talking about things, I'm afraid for you. I'm really afraid for you if you don't take the liberty and the freedom to openly discuss things and express things out loud. Because at the end of the day, you know what the Lord told me? And then I'm about to come out of this lie. The reason why I started showing up as my authentic self is because God told me, control your own narrative, David. Because you know what I realized? There was rumors out there about me anyway. That's why when I would come and do the awakening in Cincinnati and different things, even though I may have not executed it 100% the way that people think I should have did it. People may have some feelings about it, or, well, he should have did this, he should have did that. But guess what? A lot of people not doing nothing. So the fact that I was willing to do something for a city where I was born, because I wanted to, my desire was to expose people in my city and to develop collaborations and partnerships with people in my city and help to build the kingdom. So I got a budget together the best way that I could. I tried to put on programs the best way that I knew how, with what I knew, because I was about action. I just wanted to put some movement behind it. But I had senior leaders and different people that I was not even under, because Apostle Paula Reed, she tried to stop me from putting on my program. And I was not even under her ministry. I wasn't even under her. And she came in trying to shut it down when I had different leaders at that time. You can't come and shut down something when I'm not under you. And am I mad at her? I'm not even mad at her. I'm not upset with her. I'm not upset with her. I'm just saying it's time to do it different. Yes, sir, Phil. I'm going to return your phone call. I'm going to return it. I have not. So for everybody that's here, since Phil done put it in here, when I started posting all of my content, and, you know, a lot of people was confused because they know me as Prophet. So Phil was one of the ones that was reaching out to me, and I decided not to accept his phone calls because he kept sending me messages and going off on me, and you don't need to be doing that, and da-da-da-da-da. And so I decided, you know, not right now, because I was really protecting what I knew God was telling me to do in my energy. And I just wanted to have a peace of mind. And I just really did not want somebody who I trust and who I've been close with to come at me that way with that energy. I really just didn't want that. And honestly, when it comes to my private circle this day, it's on lock. I don't play that. I don't. If we friends and we sisters and brothers, I'm okay with having a conversation. But when somebody come to you and give you an idea, and this is not what Phil did. I want everybody to know this is not what he did. I kept feeling like his vibe was off. And Phil knows that. He knows me well enough to know I did not return his phone call. But there was a lot of different people coming around, and I just had to protect my energy. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to talk to a whole lot of people right now because I got to stay focused on what I'm doing. I get very much like that. I am that person who will lock in and just be on a super bliss, get everything done that I got to get done, and then I come back down, and then we good to go. But I just want to say this. Life is what you make it. You going to keep on letting people slow you down and stop you from living your life? Are you going to finally embrace who you are and embrace yourself? Thank God for his grace and mercy. Keep him at the forefront. But baby, live your life. Do what you got to do. And there's some people on here that's going to tell me, you wrong. You shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't. A lot of people are so backed up. A lot of people are so suppressed and repressed and just, baby, who you don't think is living their life is living their life. I'm not telling you to stop going to church because there's a lot of babies in Christ. I call them babies in Christ because they're just trying to learn of God. They're trying to learn of the nature of God. And I think that's a wonderful thing. They're new at it. They're trying to learn, what does it mean to repent? What does it mean to all of these kind of things? All of these kind of things. And that's, he said, upon this rock, I'll build my church. He asks Peter, who do you say I am? He asks others who they say they am. And Peter said, you are the Christ. And he said, upon this revelation, I'll build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail. Jesus was the chief cornerstone. Jesus was the stone that the builders rejected. Yes, Phil is one of the realest friends that I have. I can go with him in influencer circles. I done been with him around celebrities. We done a whole lot of stuff together. We done drank together. He's one of them ones. He done went with me to get my clothes tailored and sewn together so that I can go and preach. He's been around really since I've been here in Houston. So yes, I appreciate Phil for being who he is, and he's super real. But I'm saying this to say, we have to start there with the kingdom of God. That's the beginning. That's the start. The knowledge of Christ is the beginning. We walk by faith and not by sight. He said, confess it with your mouth, believe it in your heart. He's saying when you confess the knowledge that Christ is Lord, and then you give your life to him, it starts with a confession. Then you have to learn of his ways. God has always existed. He's eternal, but he allowed Jesus to come here and sent him here because we didn't know a lot of characteristics of God. We didn't really know his nature outside of punishment, outside of when he blessed you or when he cursed you or when he wasn't. But he's not like that anymore. I'm not saying that he doesn't judge, because he does judge. He does. But I'm saying because of Christ, we have so much more abundant grace that so many people in the faith community is not taken advantage of. And that's why they're so unhappy and so depressed. And they're going to be put on medication, and they're getting therapy and all these different things, because the root of it is that you see a lot of people. If you be honest, there's a double standard. There is a double standard. And it may take a whole lot of soul searching and searching your spirit, but you see it every day. And even when you all the way up to where you see Bishop T.D. Jakes, everybody was so shocked about Bishop T.D. Jakes. All the way up to him. If anything, y'all, it's just a sign that everybody got something somewhere. Whether somebody's husband done beat them up, because you got people who will be behind the scenes and they'll secretly watch you and don't say nothing. They'll gossip about you. They'll call somebody, talk about you to them, and then be in the paper, be on the news, all kind of stuff. Husband beating them up. They done stole the husband from somebody. All kind of stuff. We got people who are gangsters in the church. We got people who used to be ex-thugs coming to church, learn the hustle game, hustle the money. Y'all, at the end of the day, he loves us all. God loves us all. Right now, there's an emergency for you to embrace yourself so that you can learn, watch this, to fully embrace the love of God. Because a lot of you all, and those that are going to watch the replay, because I know they deleted after a while, and I'm about to go out of here. A lot of you all that are going to watch the replay, how you love God, and you haven't even learned to embrace yourself. And God can teach you love, but I'm realizing so many people so many people's concept of love is just so warped. We think God loves us the way our bloodline loved us. When your mom used to call you a bitch, a hoe, and all these crazy kind of things, and they used to deal with you in a real rough way and abuse you and all that kind of stuff, then we come before God. Yes, I said the words, y'all, because come on. Like, if you don't like it, it's okay. I'm okay with you not agreeing with me saying it. But I'm just saying, I say it privately. Not all the times, but every once in a while, if I might have said the word because I'm explaining something or whatever. I've said it before and preached. Is it a common language that I use every single day in front of people? No, maybe it's not appropriate for me to say that, but I'm just saying for the context of what people have actually been through. I know people who's been through that. And so you don't know what kind of scars and wounds that people have. And so they come to God thinking that it's tough love when they get a leader that's very dogmatic to them like that. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. You can have a person have strong discipline. A person can discipline you. A person can give you structure, just like you go to a gym to help you work out and develop muscles. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a person being a leader to you, a healthy leader, just like your coach, when your trainer has to teach you, put more weight on there. I need you to. There are people who can demand more from you without abusing you. But if all you've known is abuse in your life, you're not going to know the difference. You're going to go to that ministry or that church and you're just going to allow them to talk to you crazy. And so because I grew up that way and that's the kind of life that I had in my adult life, no, you won't talk to me crazy. Because now I can do something about it. And it may not even be necessarily me addressing you in comments like I did here on this live. It may not even necessarily be that. It's just now I can pick and choose and decide where I want to spend my time. And if your church is not the right fit for me, I just don't have to come back. And do you know that's the kind of world we live in today? People will not come back to your church because they found out, oh, this is not the right fit for me. Oh, this is triggering to me. You cannot be my pastor. You cannot be my bishop. I will not allow you to speak to me like that. I will not allow you to address me that way. And no, it's not okay for me. So let me go somewhere where I can go and I feel healthy and I can actually grow. Because no, I'm not the one. I'm not the two. I'm not the one that you're going to talk crazy to. No. As they say, that's not my ministry. You're not going to do it to me. And so I don't have to address you like this. I can just not talk to you no more. If you're around people, friends, different people that you just get weird vibes from them, love covers a multitude of sin. Maybe if we show compassion to one another, we will come out of our struggle. Love you, family, always. This is the day. Okay, I love you, Devin. Devin used to go to church with me back in the day. She's been really rocking to the song This Is the Day that I put out there. It's on digital platforms. I love you, Dev. And Devin, you don't know this, but there's times that I wanted you to come to my family church, and they was telling me that you couldn't come. That's what they was telling me, that you couldn't come. And so there was music and stuff that I wanted to do with her. They was telling me not to bring her because whatever went on in her life, and they said that they wanted to protect the purity of the church. And I want you to know, Devin, that really bothered me. Because I said, well, what do you mean protect the purity of the church? How pure are we? Us pure? Huh? Like, the church is for anybody who want to come. Like, what do you... there was some things that I didn't get. I just didn't understand. Because people will know about your past, whatever you have struggled with. And people will actually say, don't be dealing with them too much right now because I don't... Now, when we start putting restrictions on who we want to attend our church, I don't know what kind of gospel that is, y'all. Y'all be having some real different gospels out here, but be so quick to say it's a form of godliness, but denying the power, and that, it's a second Christ, and, they coming in the spirit of apostasy, and they preaching a second Jesus, and, will be quick to say that they coming as an angel of light, and y'all doing it right here in y'all own church. And I'll be like, I don't know what y'all think y'all doing, but this is not the gospel that my Jesus preached. This is not that gospel. He didn't preach that. He had drunkards, everybody around. He even had people sitting at his table who could betray him. The church is for the sinner. I'm not ashamed. God know my heart, and he definitely know yours. Thank you, Devin. I love you. He knows our heart. And when people say God knows our heart, do you know God know my heart right now with doing this live tonight? I was going to fix it up real nice. You know how we do, go on CapCut, get the videos together, then put it on another platform, get it all wrapped up tight. I was going to leak it out. And God said, just sit down and do the live. She said, we supposed to be outreaching and bringing people in. Yes. When I was at my mom's church, Devin, I was building up the church. I was literally getting musicians ready to come in. The songs that I'm posting right now, Devin, I was literally talking to people about you, saying, oh my God, y'all, I want to bring Devin. Let's bring Devin in. She could sing. I know your gift. I'm like, she need this outlet. She need the da-da-da-da. And have people telling me, we don't need them to come right now because we want to keep the purity of the church. And I can't blame people because that's who their apostle was and that's their standard. And am I dogging Apostle Paula Reed out? I'm not dogging her out. That's just her standard. And so people felt that they had to protect her standard by not allowing certain people to come in to be active in certain departments of the church. And so I had to respect how they wanted to run their church. If you ask me, I would never deny a person to come through the doors of the house of the Lord. As long as they're not doing no physical harm to nobody, you know what I mean? Like, as long as they get to a point where, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different cases. There's so many different conditions. But I don't see how people can stop somebody from coming. And Angela, you didn't know this. There's some people that didn't know this. There's some things that I knew behind the scenes that some people did not know that I was privy to that I did not talk about. I know some people feel like, oh, he just ran and he told it all. There's some things that I did not talk about. That was a part of the reason why I was offended at first. When I initially left the church, I was broken. When they sat me down, I was broken. I was hurt. Yes, I was at that season. I got me a ticket. I went out to Arizona because there was a woman of God out there. She spoke into my life. And, you know, I prophesied to her and shared some things with her. But even then, I could tell, you know, even at that church, I could just tell when people really don't want to deal with you because they feel like you got some things going on in your life and they just have a certain way that they want to run their church. And so I respect them. Notice how there's certain names that I'm not calling because I respect them. Now, if a person addresses me publicly, then yes, I will talk about it. But there's certain people that I'm not saying their name because, you know, it's not necessary. So, yeah, I went out to Arizona, stayed out there for a week. I was just shattered because I was like, y'all really going to sit me down? I was teaching the prophetic classes. Hey, what's up, Lakeisha? I was teaching the prophetic classes. I was teaching the apostolic classes, y'all. College courses. God was using me to unlock it all to everybody when they would come. My mother was having me to help. And this has always been the kicker for me when it comes to my family. God used me to help my family leave the church that we grew up in so that my family could get free. My mother really had nothing going on. Then the Lord raised her all the way up. She got her doctorate, everything went all the way in ministry because the Lord used me to send her to her leader so she could raise her for a period until she was grown enough to go and to continue to grow wherever the path took her. So some of the stuff that I went through in the church was just really unnecessary. It was unnecessary. She said they going down with us for judging. If that's the case, because only God can do that. Only God can do that. And who did God address when he came to the church? He flipped the tables over because the people were taking advantage of those coming to the temple, their money and all that the taxpayers and all that kind of stuff. He flipped the tables over because they were taking advantage of them. Even Judas, even Peter, they got to sit at his table with him. He knew he was going to deny him. One was going to deny him and one was going to betray him. And what was he doing? Sitting right at the table, breaking bread with them. If Jesus could do that and not say, don't y'all come sit at my table tonight because you about to lie. I see you about to lie and pretend that you're not associated with me. And you going to betray me. So, I need y'all. Let's just go ahead and have an early dismissal. Y'all excuse. Y'all. Huh? No, he let them walk with him. He let them stay. And he already knew what was going to happen. So how do we get to tell people, I don't want them coming to my church right now because I got to protect the level of sanctity and purity of the house right now. So we don't want too many people coming in, and you don't want their gifts to be shown. You don't want their talents to be shown. You want them to hold them. And you got people that'll preach circles all around you, and you won't let them preach. And if some people, they need to be honest, because they got to really say they really are threatened by some people's gifts and their talents. And that's why they're gatekeeping and they're not letting them come forth. Some people don't want certain people going forth because they're afraid that they're going to take the heart of the people intentionally, that God's going to start raising them up and they don't want them to pass them up. But isn't it interesting how the word says that God's plan for Jesus was for him to do greater works than his Father? He said, greater works that I do than my Father. So those who you give a platform to, who you push and give opportunity to express their gifts, your mission and goal is to train them for them to do greater works than you did. So can we really address the real sin in idolizing the platforms and not wanting to train people up? Because when I would travel around and do ministry, you could be a stranger to me sitting down, and I could ask you who you are and activate you in 5 seconds, and you prophesying. Because God revealed to me, oh, that person they can prophesy. Oh, God is raising that prophet up. Come here. Oh, you speaking in tongues? You know how to interpret tongues? It don't matter who you are. You activate it instant. You can't be around me and sit still. Y'all can think whatever y'all want to think about me or say whatever y'all want to say about me. But from the moment I sat down on the camera, people laughed at me. Yo, it looked like you reading from a teleprompter. It don't look natural. It's this, is that. Y'all got to know I produce results. One thing you going to say about me is you can say whatever you want to say, but if the Lord show it to me and he tell me to do it, I'm going to put it up. You're going to see a sign. You're going to see a flyer. Something is going on. It's going to be on a digital platform. I'm going to post a video. I'm going to be acting. I'm going to be dancing. There's people laughing at me because I was dancing. You think I care because you laughing because you don't think I can dance? Oh, Lord, y'all, this live done went so long. I'm just thanking God that it's Friday and I ain't got to work till Monday. Ooh, da-da-da-ba-shaya. God is so good, because I'm like, I done did all this, pouring out and getting this all out. Whew. I can get to have me get me something to eat tonight and just rest and chill. God is so good. Yeah, so I've said my piece. It is what it is. I love all y'all because y'all my sisters and brothers. Y'all my sisters and brothers. I love y'all. I don't hate none of you, and I'm glad to know y'all don't hate me. That's one. Look how beautiful that is. So anyway, if you see me posting content, whether you like it or not, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. I'm not apologizing if anybody is offended by me not having my clothes on, because I did it intentionally. I did it on purpose. Do I know professional people, cameras? Y'all seen my videos I was posting last year. Those were professional cameras. Anytime I preached, thank you, babies. I see the comments coming in. Anytime I preached, y'all seen professional pictures. I used to be so upset with them. I helped my mother with her pictures. Got her photos done when I was living in California. I said, no, you need professional work done. All of it, got it all together. People was upset because her stuff was professional. They were saying, you don't need to have that. I don't want you presented that way. Nobody wanted to do professional stuff. I'm not saying it was everybody, but it was some people. Yes, some people was having some problems about how I was helping her with her. I'm just saying, y'all. I know people who can do it professionally. Yes, ma'am, I can sing. I can sing all those songs. I have more than 12 songs. I posted that I have 12 songs. It's probably like 14. I have another song that's getting ready to come out on the platform. Y'all really don't know. I have a ton of songs. Do you know it takes me 5 minutes to write songs? But yes, I can sing. I grew up in church singing. I can sing. I was in show choir. I was classically trained. The one song that I have, because some people are listening to the music and they're trying to critique me because they're saying he did AI this, he did that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have raw vocals on Damned If You Don't. Look up Damned If You Don't. If you got it on Spotify, if you got it on iTunes, Apple, whatever your streaming platform is, type in Damned If You Don't, David Collins White. That is me singing. My raw vocals, just acoustic guitar, me and another person. You can hear how my voice sounds. I did a live recording here in Houston. It never came out because, there's a lot going on when you have to pay for the footage. And then there's a lot of work that people put into when they put their content out. When they put their music out. So it costs money. These things cost money. Some of these professional photographers that I know, you got to pay almost $4,000 for the kind of photo shoot that I know I can do. The kind of photo shoot, $4,000. The celebrity photographers. I have people, marketing teams. You got to pay them at least $1,500. That Awakening Miracles that I did in Cincinnati, I know it was above $10,000. It was above $10,000. The first one that I did was almost $10,000. And both times I had $0 basically. We really did a block of hotels, had 8 different flights, had some of my influencer friends come in. Didn't nobody really want to support it, but I'm just saying, y'all, I know how these things go. I'm connected to people who do these things professionally. I already know how to do this stuff. So if you see me posting something out there, don't think he tripping. He don't know what he doing. No, it's intentional. And if you don't understand why I did it, sit with it for a while. Because I promise you, it's with an intention behind it. I did it for a reason. As many times as I flew into Cincinnati, had a program, had a photographer show up to the church one time. I used to do them all the time, photo shoots. I used to always try to push everybody to get their stuff. So it's not a problem. The point is, some of y'all need to be utilizing the tools that we have now. Some of y'all need to start experimenting with AI. And the reason why, so some of my photos and stuff, some of the things that I play with, I show my real self so that people can see this is really me. This is what I look like. I mean, I'm a pretty attractive guy. Yes, I have on a lace. Yes, I have on a wig, but it's good hair. You see, it's quality hair. It's real good stuff. I had to spend some money on this. And if I take these braids out and, toss it around or whatever, it's going to get a girls what they need. It's going to get a girls what they looking for. Because I've been getting a lot of inboxes about where you get the hair from. We love the hair and stuff like that. So y'all know I know how to produce quality things. Okay? And so this right now was not really about that. God was telling me, I want you to get this content out here. And I wanted to show the people, I don't want y'all, because some people get hung up on money. Some people want to do things and you have big ideas, but you're so afraid to go because you feel like you can't afford it. You better start using those resources that's at your fingertips. You better start learning how to use it, because you know what I figured out, what I learned? It's your dream. We can't be entitled, y'all. We can't be entitled. And I learned there's no point of you being upset and mad because people are not supporting you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you support yourself? Okay, well, if you believe in what you're doing and you support yourself, people will see that, because you will be producing even though people are shutting you down and telling you no and don't want to help you. Just like Lakeisha, I be seeing your videos on TikTok. That's right. Post your stuff. Post that. It's your content. But you got to practice, y'all. Everybody Everybody don't get good overnight. The thing is, can you handle the embarrassment of people commenting on your stuff if it's not up to their standard? Are you comfortable enough with going public with the conversation? Because that's what I did tonight. Are you open to talking about it publicly? Because people do have a right, and that's what I forget what his name is. I'm gonna remember when I get off, but I went to UC and he was in the he was in the African American Culture Resource Center. His name is at the tip of my tongue. But he's the choir director, and I think he worked with, I'm not gonna say the name because, you know, the nature of this live video. But anyway, I'm just saying, he was saying people have a right to their opinions, and they do. They have a right. And so, and you have a right. Don't you let people throw you in no cage and in no prison because, you know, they just comment and they say whatever they say, how they feel about it. And you feel like, oh, let me not do that. Don't you let people hold you to a standard that they're not even following themselves. Oh, yes, Eric. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julian. Mr. Eric. Yes. Mr. Eric, he inboxed me. After he left the status, I don't know which one came first. But he did inbox me. He sent me a long message because I was in his choir when I was at UC College. And I was in SBOC, Student Body of Christ, through Abundant Life Apostolic Church. There was a lot of people that were going to Abundant Life Church. You got Monica Williams, Elder Monica Williams. I saw that Elder Stevens was in here, the worship leader or whatever. A lot of that church, I had some great experiences over there. And I got connected to the student campus ministry to them. And a lot of people didn't know, but I was the campus outreach chair of that particular ministry. Eventually, they had appointed me as the outreach chair over there. And so when I was in the African American Culture Resource Center, that's how I got connected to Mr. Eric, because they had a choir. And he let me lead one of the songs by Pharrell, the singer Pharrell, Happy. I led that song. And I started meeting a lot of friends that were in the choir at the time that I was in school. And so, yeah, that's how I met him. I never really had any issues with him. He said people would laugh at me. You know, he knew that people would laugh at me sometimes, you know, because people would, I guess, kind of question me. I've always been different, y'all. I'm just a very different person. And people used to always think I was weird or strange. And I think it just took me time to grow into what was different about me and realize that that's what an influencer is. An influencer is somebody who learns to tap into the greatness within themselves. They learn to embrace it, and they learn how to package it and to impact people and influence people with it. So I've just learned how to embrace what's unique about me. So anyway, thank y'all so much for being in here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm glad we came to an understanding, and yeah, continue to elevate, continue to grow. And in the meantime, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. As I always say, you don't have to thank me. I'm just the messenger that God sent to enlighten you. Now go in grace. Snap, snap, let's go.